burger joint.
Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to my daily morning walk. How's it going? That's my dog right there. Ah man, it's been a while since I've done one of those. One of these. Just, taking a walk, chilling. I do that every morning. It's basically the same road you saw on last video. I'm just doing it in reverse. This is where my dog likes to run after the stones, the pebbles that I throw at her. So yeah, I felt like it was about time to do another one of these sort of update live videos. We've just finished Spooktober, which was, I think this year was actually really great. I didn't know if I had enough games to go through the entire thing. I was kind of worried, I'm gonna run out of spooky games and then I don't know what to do. But it turns out that we had plenty more. We couldn't even do not even half the things I had prepared, honestly. 2 major games were left out this year, I think. One of them was Song of Horror. The other one was Pain Street Killings. But, there's always time. It doesn't have to be Spooktober. I do have other things to play right now that I've been preparing for a while. But I guess at some point we're going to play those as well. Or, they're just going to slide into Spooktober 2023. 2023. Yeah, sure. But yeah, overall, I'd say I was pretty happy. Some very surprisingly good title. Like, I knew some of those games were good. I didn't expect how good they turned out to be. Like, the Mortuary Assistant, when the demo came out, I watched a little bit of it. It was a very short demo. And I was like, oh, yeah, that seems like a pretty neat game. But, it's going to be maybe streamer bait, maybe one of those boo, haha, hee hee, I got you kind of games. But no, I think that with the multiple endings, the achievement hunting, and all the different conditions to win a run in a specific way, it turned out to be like a much better game than I expected. I'm gonna have to thank Icarus for kindly gifting me the code for that one. And in Sound Mind, holy crap, that actually blew my mind. The reviews were all like, yeah, the first part of the game, like up to the first chapter, it's really good, and then it becomes really crap. I strongly disagree. I think, yes, the third chapter is definitely the weakest one, but I did like the second, and I did like the fourth one a lot, Lucas's chapter. That was really, really cool, with the bunkers and the stars and the church and everything and the crypts. And the ghost of the scientist lady telling us what went wrong, and the unfolding of the overall story. That was kind of neat. Hello there, what you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Why are you sniffing over there? She's always with her freaking face in the ground. You can see she's a buddy dog. She doesn't even want me to pull her away. There's nothing there. There is literally nothing. Hey. Hey. Oh well. But yeah, on top of that, we had Summerland was a very short game that I enjoyed a lot. Like, when I get to talk about ethical dilemmas and philosophy and stuff like that, I always enjoy my time because I do like to do that normally, I don't need a game for me to talk about things that usually give people existential crisis. I like to do that on a daily basis. But hey, when I have a good excuse to do it, you know, it's great. So enjoyed that one a lot, quite a lot. Then we had Signalis and Saturnalia. Honestly, they both were great games, and they both were flawed games in a sense. Because especially gameplay-wise, look at that. Especially gameplay-wise, they had. Oh, sorry, my finger was in front of the camera. They had their fair share of issues, I think. I talked at length about Signalis inventory system, and Saturnalia. Mostly, the biggest complaint was about that weird graphic. Hey, come on, let's go this way. It's a little muddy, but I'll be fine. The complaint was mostly about the graphics and the weird aesthetic chosen for the characters and the FOV, but other than that, the games were really great, really interesting stories. Signalis especially had like a very wildly cryptic storytelling, which I did enjoy a lot, with those tiny flashes of past or future memories of different cycles. That was really, really interesting. But yeah, I think overall it was a pretty fun Spooktober. I'm glad to see new faces around as well, both on YouTube and Twitch. And you know, it's always nice to find someone that's not a complete psycho and stays on the channel and actually talks with the others and everything. So that's me having done a good job at being entertaining, I suppose. Not that I try hard, as Gray stated multiple times, but I do tend to be and try to be funny as much as I can, or at least entertaining one way or the other, without pushing it too hard. I don't want to be the kind of streamer that pushes jokes or bits or anything like that for the sake of being funny. Mostly try to be the usual me, just leaning on the funny side, I suppose, when the game calls for it, because not all games are meant to be funny. But yeah, like with Kill It With Fire, that was, guys, I don't know, that was real spooks, okay? I actually was terrified of the first hour of the game. That got me so bad. All the reactions that you heard when I met the spiders for the first time, they were all real, especially the jumping spider. Boy, that should have been caught on camera, and it should not have been caught on camera. Like, I saw that thing jumping like straight onto the camera. I thought it was jumping on my chest. Literally jumped off my chair. I gasped because I couldn't even like yell in scream. I froze so hard I just managed to let out a kind of gasp. And then I tried frantically to get the spider off my face, off my chest. That was very disturbing. Holy crap. But aside from that, the game was just funny, you know? Like the escalation of item used to dispatch of little tiny critters that are awful or should not exist in this world, by the way. I mean, as we now know, spiders are not human, so... Yeah, anyway, we're gonna move on to November now, the month of November and the month of December. I have a few things planned between games that are gonna come out on the Game Pass. I think they should allow me to be an official Game Pass streamer, just because I do play mostly games from the Game Pass. And I'm not gonna take my dog peeing on camera. And I feel like that's fair enough, because the Game Pass has a pretty good amount of awesome games, and I'm glad I can still get the pass mostly for free every month, with the point collection and everything. So we're gonna move on to some new games. As we done yesterday, we started Frog Detective. Tonight is going to be Ghost Song. I feel like we're like at the tail end of Spooktober. We still have games that are somewhat with a spooky atmosphere. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. It doesn't have to be Spooktober to play sort of spooky games. And especially for Game Pass games, I'm kind of worried that they'll leave the store at some point, so I would rather play them as soon as I have the chance. Because, some games did leave the store, so notable ones that I either played recently or wanted to play. I think the most notable was The Good Life, which was a fantastic, awesome game. And it left the store basically 2 weeks after we finished it. And I was like, holy shit, I just got that in time. Where's my dog? Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do that. There's a game called Summerland coming out in the next few weeks, which seems like a neat one of those walking sim / adventure games. And I think it's a world that's been invaded by aliens or something like that, and you are leaving or trying to leave with your family. So that should be interesting, hopefully. There's Pentiment, a game that looks like one of those drawings from medieval books, and I think it's a murder mystery across the years. I just love murder mysteries and games where I have to figure out who done it, so that will be a fun little one. Other than that, we're gonna do what's it called? We're gonna do Everhood, which is a very quirky RPG about music. I think there's a little bit of rhythm games into it, maybe. And it has a very cool looking art style. It's gonna be a short game, but I've been wanting to do that for a long time now. Same goes for Exanima. Exanima now, that's gonna be, I think, a pretty fun one. Exanima, it's a physics-based sort of dungeon crawly action RPG. What is she doing? Where literally a skeleton can charge at you, trip on a chair, fall over, hands first, like a dive, and hit you in the head with a mace and kill you, because it hit you in the face with a mace and you had like no hat on. That was an accident. That can happen. It's just that kind of game, and I'm curious to see. It's gonna be really funny, I think, to play. Very tense. I think the game has maybe 1 or 2 healing potions for the entire game, so you have to be very careful with your health. There's like 2 different types of damage. You can take blunt damage that makes you pass out. You can take lethal damage that will eventually kill you. And every time you get knocked out, you regen part of your blunt damage, but you do not ever regen the lethal damage unless you have those very rare healing potions. So yeah, that seems like a fun one. If by any chance I am getting close to having saved enough money to buy a new GPU. I was waiting for the AMD new release of the new GPUs, and apparently they just announced only the high end, which made me really angry once again. But I suppose since Nvidia has only announced that 4090, or released, is it released the 4090? Probably. But yeah, since people only have that now, I guess AMD wanted to compete on that line and wait for the mid-range graphics card, which is what I need. But I will keep saving money until I have enough for GPU. As I was saying, I'm getting close, I think. If nothing changes in the GPU market, I am either going to buy a 3060 Ti or a 3070. Honestly, the price difference is so minimal that I might just buy a 3070, which is a much better GPU for streaming, especially because, you know, AMD does not have a great video encoder and doesn't do very well on streaming. I hope they would change that with a new series, but it doesn't look like they did. Or at least they claim they made it a little better, but obviously Nvidia is going to be the better one when it comes to streaming. So if by that time I have the money, I will just pull the trigger, get a 3070, and then we have a couple of new options. I have a few games that I want to play urgently once I have the GPU ready. One of them obviously being Control, which Icarus once again gifted me like ages ago, and I just cannot run. Tried it on my current system. It's a slideshow. It's a horrible slideshow. Even in the intro, like I could not get past the intro. It's literally running at like 3 FPS. I don't know why, but it's just that bad. So that's going to be one of the priority. And if I can get it before Christmas, we are going to do, just like last year, a modded Skyrim adventure that I have prepared. Honestly, I have that thing ready, and I had it ready for the last I don't know how long, but the game doesn't run very well. And I mean, it runs sort of in single player when I'm not streaming. But yeah, if I were streaming it, it would be absolutely horrible to look at, and I have to keep turned off all the cool graphical enhancements, so not worth it. But yeah, if I can get the GPU before Christmas, then we're gonna definitely embark in another modded Skyrim adventure, which is, it was really good. I think we had a lot of fun. Was it last year or 2 years ago? At this point, I don't even remember when we did the Vindicator kind of stream. God, the Vindicator was bad. Like racist elf Batman. But yeah, you know, I want to do more stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, guys, we're getting close to the road now. I am going to need to tie my dog and walk back home because I've been out for like an hour at this point. People are probably wondering where the hell have I been. So I'll leave you with a thank you for all your kind support, and I'm not even talking about the, you know, money and the subs and everything. I'm talking about just the time you spend every day sitting in my chat and having a laugh and having a chat with me. I think that is still awesome, and despite my stream never grew to the point where it's a proper career, which is something that I probably would like. Yeah, I would run things very differently, as I said before, if my stream was my career, but so far it's just a hobby. But the fact that people keep coming back and having fun with me, it means I will keep coming back and have fun with them. That's it. That's just as simple as that. I have a blast turning on my PC and playing video games with you all every night, so I'll keep doing it as long as I can. We'll see what we can do for the anniversary. As I said, I wanted to do something that would involve the community as a whole, maybe a big multiplayer game, like a server of something. We'll figure it out. I will look into it. Most people have the Game Pass, or they can get it very cheaply nowadays, so that's a good, overall good way to find some games so that we could all play together. But yeah, that is going to be it for me for today. Thank you very much, guys, for accompanying me in this walk. Say goodbye to my dog, and I will see you on stream. Goodbye.